This is the exact reason people are switching to sous vide cooking. You might be surprised to find out, by the way, that steak is the #1 thing that people cook using a sous vide cooker. And you'd say, that's just crazy. You're going to put it in hot water and you're going to cook it? Well, it turns out it's amazing. Here's what happens. When you put the steak in the water that's 140 degrees, the water hits the bag is tight around the food, it cooks the steak at 140 degrees and never goes over 140 degrees. And that's what helps the steak stay juicy and tender. Now, the word sous vide is a French word that means under vacuum. And that's why I use this vacuum pump, which does an amazing job, to evacuate the air out of the bag so that the bag is touching the food. And when it goes in the hot water can easily transfer to the food. And that's how sous vide cooking works. Okay, let's cook up a steak. Now, this is the type of steak I had delivered from Walmart. And this is what it looks like after it's been sous vide and seared to perfection. Let me show you how I did it. Now, it's perfectly all right to use water from your hot water heater to get a jump start on the cooking. I have my hot water heater set pretty low at 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, using hot water from your faucet significantly reduces the amount of time it takes the water to reach cooking temperature, and thereby reducing your overall cooking time. Okay, before I show you the Inkbird doing its thing sous vide cooking, let's talk about your countertop. Now, I use this pan with a rack in the bottom because I'm usually cooking one thing at a time. Now, whether you use a dedicated sous vide cooking container or a pan, you might need to protect your countertop depending on what it's made out of. But either way, the temperature of the container is going to match the temperature of the water, so keep that in mind. So depending on your countertop, that could be a bad thing. I use this gray silicone pad that's rated at 450 degrees Fahrenheit to protect my countertop. Now let's look at this Inkbird sous vide cooker close up. Now, I have to tell you, this thing is much heavier than I anticipated, and to me, that means it's pretty well made. The lower part is stainless steel, and if you notice, there are 2 marks on the side of the stainless steel tube. One says minimum, and the other says maximum. Now, if you go below the minimum line, the sous vide cooker will turn itself off. The display on this thing is large enough that most people won't need to hunt around for their glasses to see it. I use Montreal steak seasoning and sprinkle just a little bit onto the steak before I vacuum the bag to seal it. And since a steak needs to be seared when it's sous vide cooked to give it that steakhouse appearance, there's a very important step that you need to take before you put the steak in the pan to sear it. And I'll share that with you coming up. Now, as I mentioned before, this vacuum sealer does an amazing job. Now, we'll let the steak rest in the vacuum bag while the water comes up to temperature. And because we're cooking a steak, I'm going to select 140 degrees Fahrenheit and set the timer for 1 hour. Now, it's very important that you do not put the steak in before the water reaches 140 degrees. Sous vide cooking is a science that needs a precise temperature and an exact time for the best results. And that's what's great about the app, because you can wander off and the app will notify you when it comes up to temperature. And as the temperature is increasing, the app will monitor it, and you will know when it gets to 135 degrees Fahrenheit if you're watching it, and you can start heading back to the kitchen to drop the steak in. But when it reaches temperature, it'll give you a beep. Another huge plus about sous vide cooking is if you get sidetracked, it is impossible to overcook this steak. Now, even if you leave it in the warm water for an hour after your cooking time is up, it won't make any difference. Your steak will still stay juicy and delicious. Now, I want you to notice how this sous vide cooker gently circulates the water, and that's why I use the rack at the bottom of my pan so the water can circulate under the steak and around the steak. You can't really tell on the video, but this thing is quiet. I can barely tell that it's actually circulating the water and running. Okay, the time is up. Let's have a look at the steak. And because the temperature of the cooker was only 140 degrees Fahrenheit, we need to finish off the outside of this steak so it has a nice steakhouse quality look. I will do that by wiping down a cast iron griddle with a little bit of olive oil and then heating it up to over 500 degrees. Now you need to completely dry off the steak before you can sear it. And remember earlier when I put the steak seasoning on, I said I had a tip for you. Well, it's very important to remove as much of the Montreal steak seasoning as you can while you are drying off the steak, because if you don't, it will definitely burn, and that will affect the flavor of your steak. This cast iron skillet is screaming hot at over 500 degrees, so this steak only needs to be on there for 1 minute. That's 30 seconds on each side. If you leave it on any longer, you run the risk of accidentally overcooking the inside and you're going to lose that juicy pink color. And as you can see, the steak is perfectly done inside, medium. A little bit of pink, which is perfect, and trust me, it is delicious. Over the years, I can't begin to tell you how many steaks I have overcooked and dried out on the grill. With the price of steak completely out of control nowadays, it gives me incredible peace of mind knowing that whenever I cook a steak in the future, it's going to come out perfect. I recommend you give this Inkbird Sous Vide cooker a try. Hey, thanks for watching.